Okay, so we're diving deep today
Yeah.
into something I know we've all thought about at one time or another.
Mm-hmm.
Noah's Ark's right. I mean, who hasn't heard that story? The flood, the animals,
Hmm.
the whole bit.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those enduring stories, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's always fascinating to see how those ancient tales intersect with modern discoveries.
Right.
And that's kind of what sparked this whole deep dive.
Okay.
We've got this article talking about potential evidence of human activity
Yeah.
near this boat-shaped formation on Mount Ararat. And here's the kicker. It dates back to roughly the same time as the biblical flood.
Now, that is interesting.
Right. It's like, wait a minute, is this for real?
Well, let's break it down.
Okay, let's do it.
So we've got this joint team of Turkish and American researchers, and they're saying they found evidence of human activity close to this formation,
Okay.
dating back 5,500 to 3,000 years ago.
Which is right in that ballpark, right? I mean, biblically speaking.
It does align with the general timeline.
But I'm already sensing that you're not fully convinced.
Well, you know me, I always like to approach these things with a bit of healthy skepticism.
Right.
I mean, it's fascinating that the dating lines up like that.
Yeah.
And one of the researchers for Kaya even pointed out that their lab results indicate there was life in that whole region during that period.
Okay.
But here's the thing. It's really important to remember that this finding alone doesn't confirm the existence of Noah's Ark.
Gotcha.
Archaeologists have looked at this boat-shaped formation for a long time, and they've consistently said it's a natural occurrence, not an actual shipwreck.
So even though the dating kind of fits, wouldn't that at least give some support to the whole timeline in the Bible?
It's tempting to make that connection, but we can't ignore the bigger picture.
Okay.
The lack of geological evidence for a global flood, as described in the Bible, that raises some serious questions.
Yeah.
The scientific consensus is that there's just no evidence of a flood of that scale happening at any point in Earth's history.
So are we talking about a potential localized flood then? Is that something that could have even happened in that region?
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Though it's definitely contested. There's debate about whether a significant regional flood could have occurred around Mount Ararat during that time.
So what kind of life are we talking about here? When they say they found evidence of life, is it plants, animals, or something else? And how does that connect to the whole human activity part of the research?
That's a great question. And honestly, the article doesn't really go into detail.
Oh, okay.
Which is a shame because that would be a really crucial detail.
Yeah.
I mean, if the life they're talking about is human remains or artifacts, well, that would lend a lot of weight to their claims, wouldn't it?
Totally.
But if it's something like plant matter, well, that suggests an environment that could have supported humans.
Right.
But it doesn't necessarily prove that humans were actually there.
Gotcha. So where do we go from here? What are the next steps to figuring out what's really going on?
Well, the good news is this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Kaya himself even said more research is needed before anyone can jump to any conclusions.
Right.
There's a team from Istanbul Technical University, Andrew University, and Agri Ibrahim Sisin University.
Wow, that's quite the team.
They're all planning to do further studies on Mount Ararat.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
What kind of studies are they doing? What are they hoping to find?
They're going to be using all sorts of techniques, ground-penetrating radar, archaeological excavations, you name it.
Wow.
And they'll be analyzing soil samples, looking for any artifacts, any remnants that could give us clues about who might have been there and what they were doing.
So basically, we're left with this super intriguing possibility.
Yeah.
A healthy dose of skepticism.
Always good to have that.
And a whole bunch of unanswered questions.
Absolutely.
Which I love.
Here's something to think about, okay? What if it's not Noah's Ark? What if this ancient human activity near the boat-shaped formation, what if it means something else entirely? What if there's another explanation?
Okay, I'm listening.
What drew people to this specific location thousands of years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Maybe they were drawn to the same thing that draws us to the story of Noah's Ark today.
What's that?
The mystery, the possibility of something bigger than ourselves.
That's a good point.
Mount Ararat seems like it's still holding on to secrets.
And just waiting for us to uncover them.
Exactly.
I love it.
Me too.